While I was first a student at Pima, I started working at CDO High School.
Okay.
And I would do the spring musical there. I worked there for 19 years. Choreographer and the musical director and I talk about scripts, and we throw many different options out there. I make the final decision, but we kind of do it as a collective. We all have to buy into it. We're not going to do a show that is too hard to sing, or is too hard to produce, too expensive to produce, or it doesn't have the right orchestration. So we have to find the balance between all of the needs, and we have to have a balance of good parts for students. Something they can learn from. Ideally, there's a good balance of male and female roles. It's not always the easiest thing to do in a musical, and Spamalot was particularly challenged with that. There is only one, as written, good role for women. We changed it to an extent. A lot of the normal roles that are played by men are played by women. In some ways, there's more opportunities in this show for women than there would normally be in a normal musical because of how we stretched it around. Monty Python's and Holy Grail is a cult classic that kind of happened. It was a low-budget film with a through line of multiple sketches put together with a storyline. Spamalot takes the root of that as an arc of a story. This takes that basic storyline, alters it slightly, not as far as the story itself, but adds into it the fact that they're doing it as a live performance with this interesting concept that they're almost aware that they're doing it. When you add the music to it, you suddenly now have Broadway production number sensibilities that change the scope of it. So it's this collision of British comedy sketch with musical theater. It's that collision of the high intellectual that Monty Python is with the lowbrow humor that it is with the musicality of a Broadway world with flashing lights and Vegas sensibilities that is absolutely mesmerizing. There's no improv per se, and with comedy, especially well-written comedy, it's essential that you're word perfect because it's innate. Just as in any writing, the punctuation creates the rhythm and how we interpret it.
Yeah.
The writing of comedy is so clearly dynamic, and just it's how it's written. What I really do as a director is keep them together to help over-accentuate the things that they do well and to try and minimize anything that's a distraction. This is the smallest group we've ever worked with in a musical, and it is the strongest group. They are tremendously talented students, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. Most shows have 3 or 4 leads that sing. This one has it spread out amongst a whole bunch of people, and they all have their own little moment, and it's very, very